Good evening and welcome to Certified Unscripted. I am your host for the evening, Rita Haywood. We are here where we keep the spirit of the game alive, and we are just happy that you took the time to join us this evening. As you can see, I am not Vera. I know you always want Vera, but as she stated last week, she is on vacation. And as I think about it, I'm saying Vera is somewhere on a beach, either in Florida or wherever, probably sipping on a pina colada, a Mai Tai, maybe even some gin and juice. But wherever she is, we wish her the best because it is her birthday week. And we just want to say happy birthday to her and let her know how much we appreciate her being our hostess with the mostest here on Certified Unscripted. So you out there in television land, all you followers and fans, do send her a text or hit her up on IG, Facebook, whatever you have her on, and just say happy birthday and tell her how much you appreciate having her around because we absolutely do. So much is going on. There's been some shell shockers this afternoon, leading into this morning, rather. Everybody woke up with some crazy news regarding who is the elephant in the room tonight? None other than Liz Cambage. Um, she is a special young lady. That's all I'll really say right now. But in between time, I want to bring our special guest on tonight. Bear with me 1 minute. And she has been around and has been someone very special to the WNBA for many, many years previous. And those who really know basketball know who this young lady is. She was selected first round in the draft, the WNBA draft, the seventh pick overall. And she played from the Mercury from 1997 to 2001. She also played for the Indiana Fever in 2002 and 2003. And again, she went back to the Mercury in 2006. We are talking none other than Miss Bridget Pettis. Welcome, Bridget. Thank you for sharing your night and your time with us. I know how busy you are, but we definitely want to welcome you to our podcast and just appreciate you taking time.
Thank you so much, Rita. And
Yes,
happy birthday, Vera.
Many of you don't know, Bridget was one of my former clients. I used to be a sports agent. And at the time, I think we had about 48 players in the WNBA. And she was definitely one of our top guards that everybody talked about and everybody wanted to see play. Super talented, still super talented, but in a different lane. But she really did some wonderful things for our company at the time that she was a client of ours. So welcome, welcome, welcome. People have been asking about you and wanting to know what you have been doing overall.
Thank you.
So we're going to get into that. But first, I'm going to allow you to be a part of our basketball discussion because we do have a lot of basketball going on tonight.
Okay.
Just so like I said, the elephant in the room is none other than Miss Liz Cambage. So let me see what the fans are saying here in regard to it because it's been a really kind of crazy day with her situation. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a tough situation. She is a big player to be withdrawn from a team, and that can be a big, a lot of problems for a team to deal with. But I'm pretty sure, because I've coached with Coach Fred Williams for a while, that if a player isn't happy, you probably want to let them go and do what it is that they need to do so that it doesn't mess up the unit that they're trying to build. So she's had a lot of challenges trying to fit into a team in the league. And that's a real thing, trying to find your team, trying to find a team that can tolerate your energy. And, she's a very outspoken woman. I just think she has to find a place where she can be on where she's can fit on this team. And also I think, it's a little bit of a maturity that has to happen in players that I see after coaching for so long, 16 years. Maturity has
Well,
to happen, and when
she's
it
30
doesn't,
years old, so I
yeah,
think she's like,
and and
she's definitely mature.
yeah, no, I said when it
But
doesn't happen, when maturity doesn't happen, then
true.
you see this issue come about. So I think she does probably need to continue to grow as a player and learn how to be in a team environment, because it ain't, a lot of players think it's about them, and it ain't about you. It's
Hmm.
about us. It's about us, and it's always going to be about us. And until that gets settled in, you really won't be a good teammate.
Yeah, the ironic thing is that, in the beginning when she came back into the league, or actually when she even started in the league, she was always talking about her dream team being the LA Sparks.
Yeah,
That's where she wanted to be.
yeah,
That's who she thought about when she was a young girl growing up and
yeah,
wanting to play basketball and play in the league. The Sparks were her team.
yeah,
So, after being with, I believe she was with Tulsa. Yeah, she went to
yep,
Tulsa, and then
yep.
she
In
went to
Dallas.
Dallas. She was a free agent acquisition. Um, she left, and she's just kind of been unbalanced in certain ways. First it started with, I think, her um, being her ties being severed with the Opals,
Hmm.
which is her Australian national team, which speaks volumes. It's like that is where
Yeah,
you are from. That these are your people, so to speak, and you're severing ties with them. Then there were accusations of racism and things that she said to the Nigerian national team, something of that sort. But then I believe one of her parents is Nigerian, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what's really going on there? Is it superstar syndrome? Is it her just feeling what? I mean, what is it? Is it a mental situation?
And I remember she spoke up about mental illness, and that's a real thing. These players can feel a lot of anxiety and overwhelmed. And I know today's player is more than just a basketball player. They do a lot of things, and they're involved in a lot of things. And learning how to multitask, and I think we're definitely capable of doing it. But if we're not really sound and grounded in ourselves and know who we are, and we got all these, different distractions coming at us, it can be a challenge.
Absolutely.
Um, for her, I mean, if she is in the WNBA, if she comes
Hmm.
back and find a team, I mean, she just has to find that team, find that voice that she can take heed to.
The
Up
thing,
until then, up
oh,
until
I'm
then,
sorry.
I don't know. No, I was just saying, up until then, I mean, I
I
don't
think
know.
she's burned a lot of bridges. And a
Absolutely.
lot of people are like, look, something wrong with the girl. Let her go do whatever she wants to do because she's too
Yeah,
wishy-washy. She's up and down. She's saying one thing one day, and then,
yeah,
the next day she's
yeah,
saying something else. But, I think it speaks to, we have so many distractions going on for these young people, and pressure. There's
yeah.
certain pressure that's definitely going on. But she took a hiatus in 2014, and then she returned.
Hmm.
So I don't even know then why she took that hiatus. If anyone knows out there why she did,
Hmm.
maybe give us a little shout out and enlighten us, because I really don't recall why she left, but I do recall her just having a number of problems. As I put up before, Keisha here says, Liz Cambridge is a mess. For a while, to me, she was all better than Brittany Griner early on, but she just seems like bad cancer to a team. Who should take a chance on her? So
Yeah, I wouldn't put her with Brittany. I mean, she might be taller.
yeah. I was gonna say that too. It's like, she's all right,
Yeah, she might be taller. Maybe she's taller. I don't know. But no, you can't put her with Brittany.
No, not
I
not
mean,
Brittany Griner, but
Brittany's
I'm sure it was a compliment. Trying to give a big up, help out a little bit and whatnot.
yeah.
But
Yeah, she hadn't done the work yet, honestly, and
right,
I can say that as a former player, like, she's wanted a lot from this league, but you ain't done the work yet. You haven't
right. You can't just step in, right?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
she,
this.
if you think about it, she's been around for a minute. She's been up and down different situations. And to me, that's kind of a red flag because, I mean, they're going to take her because she's a big girl. Everybody wants
Yeah,
a big girl.
yeah,
What is she, 6'9" or
yeah,
6'9"? I think she's 6'9",
yeah.
I
Well,
believe.
I mean, I was a coach, so I know that these players have to grow. We grow as people. I grew as a coach. I mean, we have to grow up. We use this game and we grow up in front of other people. And
Right.
that's what that's just her journey through the game. And I don't look down on it because I know that everybody has different things they have to taste, and then you say no, don't taste that.
You're right about that. Yeah, definitely.
So
But
it's a life
and
lesson.
absolutely the lesson. But the thing is, we need to get her on and ask her what the lesson is that she's learning right now. But I know for the
Mostly we'll learn that when we read her book.
oh Lord, right? But right now it really affects the playoff race if you think about it, because I believe the LA Sparks are what, 12-15, and
Okay.
Dallas, what is it? Dallas Wings, Atlanta, and someone else. They're basically breathing on their neck in terms of the
Yeah.
playoff spots. So 8 teams go. They did have a chance with her. I don't know who they're going to actually have step in, but I'm sure they're going to be determined to do well, especially being coached by Fred. Fred's not going to let it
Yeah.
inhibit what they're trying to accomplish. So,
Yeah.
all props to Fred Williams. For those who don't know Fred, he has been around for years, and I want to say eons,
Yeah.
but he's a super talented coach, and I would feel if anything he would use it as a spark to get his team motivated to really come out and show the world that, look, we're a team and we're going to play as a unit, whether we have Liz or not.
Yeah.
But let me see if any of the players here or our fans have anything to say. Not so much about that. But we just wish her about the best,
Yep.
and can only pray for her.
Yep.
And, put her in God's hands for the most
Yeah.
part. So definitely. But then, so last week, the Espys. What did you hear about the Espys, and what did you think about the Espys and the whole situation with Miss Aaliyah Boston?
Okay. Well, honestly, I don't watch TV. I don't even have a television.
Oh, that's okay. I know
But
you
I
heard
did
though.
find out. I did find out. I find out about what was going on. With say her name again.
Aaliyah Boston. She was
Aaliyah Boston.
the number one player in the country.
Yeah.
South Carolina, Dawn
Yep.
Staley.
Yep.
Um,
And she
and
didn't get invited, correct?
no, she wasn't initially invited,
Initially
but
invited. Yeah.
Dawn came out, made a statement to say, like, how can you not invite this player who has accomplished a championship this year, player of the year, all these accolades? How can you not invite her to the Espys? So
Well, I think
then,
that's been the journey of the women's game, is that we have to say, hey, look right here. This is important. This is important. This is important. We need to get this. The players need this. It's just, that's been the journey. Don't forget her. Don't forget Brittany. Don't this has been the journey in women's basketball for quite a while, and just in the journey of women, getting back into level ground of equality and knowing that we're just as important in society. So I'm not surprised.
Well, then they turned around and they invited her.
Yeah, yeah,
and she declined.
yeah.
Basically saying, the disrespect is.
Yeah. But I don't agree with that. But I understand, but I don't agree with that, because
What part?
just to not come. I mean, we asked to come. We wanted to come. We wanted to be invited. I'm telling you, I should be there. Okay, you didn't know I needed to be there, but now I'm telling you, and you see that I need to be there. And then you invite me there, then I gotta show up. Like that's how you make a movement. That was the movement, is that you spoke and it was heard and then we responded. I think we live
So the
sometimes in the
power, so you're saying that the power was really with her at
yeah,
that
she
time.
did it. Like she did it. You absolutely woke them up. You, hey, I'm important. This matters. I contributed to the game, to the women's game, and
Right.
you woke them up, and they invited you. So, but I think we got to give a little bit more grace when we
True.
open the door. Like
I didn't think of it from that perspective. I think I was more, she should have been invited from the jump,
she should have.
but you didn't invite me. So now because everybody's making a ruckus, you want to invite me.
Yeah, but I'm in the room now. Like, what do we really want? Do we want to complain or do we want to be in the room?
Or do we want to be in the room under certain conditions?
Under certain conditions. I want to get in the room. And then I
Period.
want to get in the room.
And she would have actually had more opportunities for interviews and
Yeah, I want to get
people
in the
to
room.
say, hey, yeah,
Absolutely. I went to a Mercury game in the beginning of the year, and I just felt like they acknowledged every player that played for the Mercury, and
right.
then never said anything about me being there.
Oh,
I said, yeah, and it's all right. I said something. I made a statement. Hey, I was in the building. You know what I mean? Give up a little
right,
love. They did the next time.
right.
That's what I want. That's it. Hey, just know that I'm letting you know I want my message to be heard. I'm not here to speak to complain. I'm speak to make change. And now from now on, they know.
Absolutely. But I think it's, it's the initial hurt that we get caught up in is
I
that
agree.
you
Cause
didn't
I was,
invite me from the jump and
yeah, it hurt my
now
little
you want me to
feelings.
come, our egos all bruised up
It's
and
true,
everything
but
else.
we got to
So
be bigger than our egos because we really want to make change.
absolutely. Well, you definitely have made change in the WNBA and how things have happened over the many years previous. So we want to get into some of the questions that our fans and followers have regarding your playing days. So, tell them a little bit about who you really are and the player that you were, or
Okay.
I can just tell them because you were one of my clients. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You've been someone that I truly appreciated having represent. I think overall you were one of the top players, one of the top guards, and you had that little tap tap thing you do, and nobody could get no one could get a hand on that ball. So that little,
I
I don't
still
think
got
anyone.
that.
You still got it?
I still got that.
I don't think anyone does that. I haven't seen
Yeah.
anyone in the league do that. So
Yeah.
people,
No.
y'all need to go check out her highlights and just watch that little
That
and
little.
she's gone. And it's low, that Iverson low, like change directions, Mm, that's for sure. Definitely. But someone here had a question. They said they were talking about you and Cheryl Miller, and they wanted to know how was it actually playing for her, her being her coach,
Mm-hmm.
and just your thoughts on that.
Wow, a joy, an absolute joy. I grew up just really in awe of Cheryl Miller and Latanya Pollard were some players that I was in, that I followed as a young girl. And Cheryl Miller she was the energy I was. So we matched very well. I love that she just wanted to be there and give everything that she had to us. And she just, she was just her. And it made it so much fun to play with her. And I love to dance. She loved to dance. Like we were just, being ourselves out there and enjoying the game. And she
Right.
was a strong competitor. So she woke that up in me. I think I played the game a little bit more for fun, just
Right.
having a good time. And then she brought some more focus inside of me and just to help us become more competitive. And yeah, she was a bomb.
Yeah. I can definitely relate in terms of knowing her. We have a statement from Moni Williams here who is asking, how did you find out and where were you playing overseas when you heard about the WNBA?
Oh, wow. I was in Italy at the time, and I remember it was about 2, 3 in the morning when Renee Brown gave me a call. She was a well-known contributor to the WNBA, and she told me I was drafted by the Phoenix Mercury, and it was just an amazing experience. I was over there with a lot of players, Teresa Weatherspoon, Cynthia Cooper, and all these players have been drafted already, and I was just so happy to be a part of that core group that got, selected.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody was overseas at the time.
Yeah,
we were like, what? What's going on? We're
and that was
what?
the place to be.
When did we get back to do it?
Yeah. Italy was like the WNBA at that time. It had all the players. It was considered one of the toughest leagues. And
Italy was like top dollar everything.
Yeah, and that was my dream. My dream was to go to Italy. I didn't even have a dream about the WNBA. That was just God's gift.
Excuse me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it opened the door, just having overseas. It was where you wanted to go, like you said, and it was your top players in certain markets. Some of the smaller markets. I mean, you had Italy, you had Spain, you have Turkey, China. At the time, I think China at the time wasn't even that big.
China had fell off when I got there.
Yeah,
they had all the people had made all their money. They were like, "You should have went to China." I'm like, damn.
Absolutely. But hype baller hoop right here. He wants to know: did you ever consider playing in the ABL, or did you even know about the ABL since they started before the WNBA?
Yeah. Awesome. Yes, I tried out, went to the ABL tryout. I didn't make it. I became an alternate player, and I was just like, all right, well, that's just it. Let me go overseas. And, I just kept it moving. And it just so happened that the WNBA came, and whoever was in the ABL didn't get to be a part of the WNBA that first 2 years or something like that until they had dispersed. But I was going for the ABL, and they were making a little bit more money to be a little bit more sustainable. But I was blessed because we could go overseas. And, I know we're not going overseas, but that was a great experience in my life to spend 14 years in Europe to learn. I
didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, I have an Italian family. I have a Turkish family. I have a Spanish family. I got, I've learned the language. I've traveled. Learned so many things, so I don't really knock the journey of going overseas. That was a beautiful part of even why the WNBA is great today.
Yeah, I know. Dion wants to know what your experience was like playing with Jennifer Gillum as a teammate in Phoenix. She was definitely a beast, and fadeaway was lethal, all that good stuff. So, you having really experienced all of that with her.
Bucket. She got us a long way. I mean, we got to the WNBA finals with Jennifer. She was just a leader. She was about doing it. Jennifer showed up every game. She wasn't so much a practice player. I think it was just that time in her career. She had already been a very seasoned veteran. And she was game time. Jennifer was game time. She showed up and she hit big buckets, and you can tell she played on the big stage, being an Olympian, and
Yes, therefore they also wanted to know about Michelle Timms. Like people, they know their basketball because a lot of people don't know who Michelle Timms was and how she really contributed to the WNBA. Hold on one second. I have a special person that I'm going to bring in on here.
All right.
Oh, what up, my girl? What's going on?
What's up?
It's
you. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you talk, man. I'm listening to you. Love hearing you talk.
I love you inside out.
You already know how I feel about you. You already know.
Right.
I know I'm jumping in late.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm jumping in late, but when I saw you, I have questions, and I always tell you, I said, Pettis, I want to walk through what you're doing now in your life. I want to be a part of what you're doing now in your life and how you're setting up the community with what you do. And and how you taking care of yourself and wanting to take care of others in the same way. I just want you to kind of talk a little bit about that journey if you haven't already, because it's really special what you're doing. I want the world to know what you're doing outside of the game of basketball, which is what everybody wants to know. I know how great you were playing. I played against you, and it was hell playing against you. I tell everybody, and I still do this little move that you do all the time, and you had this little pet with the ball. I still do that.
Spoon, I just talked about that.
I still do that. Still to this day.
There's no player now that does that.
No. And it was quick. If you went for the da-da, she was gone. Out of there. But I want people to know that there's so much more to you than putting the ball through the hoop, than defending, getting steals, and making a pass here and there. But the passes you're making now is a pass that I want people to hear about.
Yeah, well, we're just getting ready to get into it because.
Well, man, my fault, my bad.
You good because we're gonna talk about it, because that part is really deep, and that's really the part that we want to hear about.
Yeah.
But people don't know. Certain people don't know her, and they want to know what her experience was like playing with Cheryl Miller. Right now, she was telling us about Michelle Timms, who was an overseas legend. And we're just kind of going through the steps, but I'm going to give her the stage to just roll on with everything that she's doing now, because what she's doing now is truly amazing. It passes basketball. And
I'm so honored. I mean, what I'm doing now, thank you, T. I appreciate that. Even people are recognizing the message that I'm saying. It's really about self-love. I took a hold of myself. I was like, let me really immerse myself in self-love. And that started with knowing how mentally that my mind needed to be clearer. I started clearing my mind through yoga and practicing and calming my nerves down, and really mindful about the foods that I put in my body. And what goes in this body, this temple, we're spiritual women, and I'm mindful that this temple has to be its best. Just like when I was a player, I played my best basketball when I felt good. So I'm gonna live my best life when I feel good. So as we continue to live, and just to get the message out there about being more sustainable in life, like knowing I don't worry about if it ain't no toilet paper in the grocery store. I don't worry about if the grocery store is closed. I know how to grow my own food. I know how to teach people how to grow food. That's a necessity in life, and I want to make sure I grab a hold of all the things that's necessities in life to make life whole in its wholeness. So food is a major thing. My community back home in Gary, Indiana, I lost my sister to diabetes, and just my family itself going through dialysis, and just hearing that talk all the time in the Black community. And it just, you really want change. So change has to start with myself, and being a walking example makes that a little bit easier to say, hey, put that down and start eating this. And when people can see you doing it, they can receive that message a little bit easier. So that's just what I've been on. My focus now is to educate the community, not to just feed the community, because he said the poor will always be here. We will always need to continue to help, but we can help in a different way by educating and teaching and learning how to do things. So I have a love for teaching the children how to grow food. I use my farm as a school to educate the children. We also use it for the adults, to giving them the opportunity to volunteer and get back in the soil, plant some collard greens, everybody's remembering what grandma and them used to do, how they used to eat in the backyard, how we used to grow tomatoes. That food right there needs to be in our body. I spend a lot of time in the sun. People are always like, your skin's so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, I sit in his glory. And his glory is shining on that food. And I'm like, let's eat that food. Because I'm watching the process, and the process is real. What we put in our body is going to have a major effect on us, and we're going to get a better juice out of life.
Yeah. For many that are listening, they may not know that you left basketball to really pursue your purpose, which is helping the communities and in Phoenix understand the importance of health and nutrition. And that, at one time you were assistant coach with the Chicago Sky. You were really into the game, but, your true purpose came aboard and shown through everything that you've done. And now you are under an organization that you created called Project Roots, correct?
Yes. So it started Project Roots about 3 years ago, and it's a 1/2-acre farm. We turned a quarter, 3/4 of that farm into just growing food for the community that we distribute out. And then a portion of that area is community gardeners. So it stays very interactive. People are coming there every day. They got a row where they tend to, just like they would tend at their houses. We set up the farm in a way you would grow food at home. So I can show them, hey, you could take this and go right home and do this right in your backyard. So we try to make it very, very, easy to understand how to do in the process of it. And it draws the community. It's welcoming all the South Phoenix community. They try to consider, they say these words like food desert. There's no such thing. We just got to grow food. And so that's what we're doing. We're out there growing food. We're learning. We're getting the seeds and we're learning. And we're distributing that food in the best way that we can. In the winter times, we have a soup kitchen, making sure we put only organic food, herbs that are healing herbs into the food, because I know if our unsheltered community is feeling better, you're going to do better. So getting ourselves to feel better, that means a lot. I want to get some juices out there, making sure they're getting full nutrition in the body. So it's a lot that we still want to do. We're putting gardens in schools, educating the kids in that way, in the spaces that they hold, and making that a part of their curriculum now out here in Phoenix. So yeah, it's just been an ongoing, we're just growing. Literally, it's seed by seed. So I just bought me a big bag of collard green seeds because I'm about to just get these collard greens in the ground right now.
That's
Did you think twice about leaving? Because I know you spoke to me before you left the game. And did you think twice about it, or you already had, this is what I'm going to do. This is where I need to be. My life needs to go. Did you think twice about leaving the game of basketball?
Honestly, when COVID happened and I had went to a pre-training camp in Chicago, and we were getting ready, we were all talking about going to the bubble. And I mean, just everything, me, y'all know me. I'm free spirit. I can't, like, I gotta fly. So just to be in basketball had never looked like that to me. I walked in the gym. I got to put a mask on. I got to put on gloves. I'm like, no, this isn't bad. This not something else, So, and it's all right. This is just what is. Now, what is my purpose in this? Yeah. And I just knew instantly I had to get back to the farm, and that's where my heart was. I felt like I could make change. I could do something more impactful. And I felt in basketball, you make a lot of change. You really impact people's lives. But this is a different calling.
Absolutely. I know the fans want to talk about you, Spoon, in relationship to you playing against Pettis. And what was the challenge of guarding her in terms of the earlier years of your basketball?
Incredible athleticism. We hear about the athleticism of Cynthia Cooper and how great she was with the offensive skill set that she had. I can talk about Pettis in the same way. Very difficult to defend because of her skill set, because of her ability to be elusive. Just the versatility, could score the ball, could get to the rim and score, could find. She did so many different things that made her so difficult to defend, not one-dimensional in any way. So that made it different. You knew you were going to have a hell of a night trying to guard. I told everybody earlier, it was just one move she had, and it was the way she tapped the ball. Ta-ta. And if you went for it, it was a ta-ta, ta-bang, she's gone. And just solid every single night. But not only did she play on that offensive side of the ball, she was coming after you defensively too. She was coming for you. So it's just very difficult to defend, just solid every single night. And you knew it was going to be war. You didn't want her to go off on 30 for you against you. You know, like, damn, you got 30 on me. And
Well, ain't nobody doing that on you. You was the
that was
lockdown.
easy. You know, 30 was easy. 30 was easy. So I knew I had to bring it. When you talk, you know, I think for the most part, Rita, what happens when we start to talk about the W, we leave out a lot of dang people who played this game extremely well.
Exactly.
Who made this league what it is too. So I don't believe in leaving out no damn body, because I know my nights were hard. I had to guard guards every single night. VJ and I used to be like, man, who you got? All right, look, when I get tired, you go, because it's gonna be hard.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was tough every single night. And look, you got to put Pettis at the top. Pettis was definitely difficult to defend. They had a hell of a team too. Hell of a team.
Yeah. Well, you know, I always look back. I go to the arena now, and sometimes I'm like, wow, was I really here? I mean, you can feel a little invisible in this space, but I mean, God has shown me that enough. I had never been on the All-Star. I ain't never made no All-Star. Never done none of that. My name is in the Raptors.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. You know what I mean?
I'm grateful. Say it again. Say it again for the people to hear.
That's right.
So it's there. And you know, it ain't about us. You know, it's about this whole thing. So sometimes I think because we're setting the pavement, you know, we live in the world where everybody getting to show it already. Like these players today are showing, hey, we are here and we were building here. we were in the space of building it. So I'm just grateful that we had the foundation of the W is what is making it so solid today, that it was players like you, T, Coop, Cheryl Swoops, that Michelle Timms. They were asking about Michelle Timms. To have a player that has so much passion, and just, it was like with everything. Timms used to be like, matey, we might lose, but we're going to give it everything we got.
That sounded just like her.
Mighty.
Yes, matey. I'm like, well, let's do it.
Oh man, Tanya here wants to talk about the WNBA finals against the Comets. Like, give them a little story maybe you had about that situation. You know, getting to the finals against the Comets.
I mean, it's great. You want to win, but I'm playing against the great team. We're going against the real ones, you know, Coop and Tina Thompson and Swoops, and they were bringing it and they showed up. So I think to even be a part of that story, I just cling on to the story. Like, I was there. that was a phenomenal group, because it was so phenomenal, because they didn't always gel so well in there. And we was talking about Liz Cambage. They didn't always gel so well. And this is a sign of maturity. We didn't gel so well, but when the time came, this ball never got hesitated to be passed. It never got hesitated to shoot. They still was high-fiving each other. They were still doing what it was that they needed to do to win. And I noticed that this was a solid team, and, you know, they got the best out of us. I grew a lot playing against them. Tina Thompson was great. I don't know. She just was a great player to even witness at that time.
Right. Definitely. So a number of people want to know how you got started even playing. Who inspired you when you were coming up, you know, to play ball?
Yeah. Who you had, T? Who inspired you?
Everything started from home for me, Pettis. Everything. My father, my mother, my sisters, my brothers. I'm the baby of 6. So I saw them. And I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be like everybody in the crib. I didn't even have to look outside the house. So I wanted to be like every family member that I saw. I wanted to be like them. So it all started in the house for me.
Yeah. My brothers played as well. I grew up playing with my brothers. But I had a great one around me in my same projects I was growing up, LaTanya Pollard. LaTanya Pollard would come home, and I would go and look in her window to look at her, just to look at her. I just felt like if I saw her, I would get the juice. and this is what's so wonderful too, that she knew I needed to see her. She would make herself available. Yeah, she would make sure that I saw her before she went back overseas or whatever it was. But to see somebody like that was a huge impact for me, because she was in a whole nother place. I was dreaming about where she was at, and I wanted that.
Yeah.
And I grew up in in Chicago area, so Michael Jordan was a huge influence. I watched him all the time, and he made me not watch basketball. He made me go play basketball.
I heard that. Well, Heaven Burke had a very interesting question. She wanted to know what your relationship was like with Ann Myers, who at the time I believe was the GM, and how was she a person? I know as a legend in the Phoenix organization.
Sure. I mean, Ann is a legend. We all got much respect for her. I was her first hire, besides bringing. No, I was actually her first hire. I was her first hire.
Okay.
She came to the league, and she recognized that, the community, the fans, all of them, they were like, hey, let's keep this going. I had never dreamed about coaching the game, but I think that's just what the door that opened, and I was ready for it. Penny Taylor at the time had came back to the game, and they had asked me to be a coach, so I was happy to do it. I think game recognized game, in the transition when you see it and it's ready. It. I just opened the door. I never even filled out the application, so ain't it good?
There you go.
Yeah, but Pettis, when you're playing for a team and you've given your everything to that team, but when they come and ask you, hey, I want you to be a coach here, that has to be a special feeling. It has to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're in a space where people appreciate you, what you have to offer, and you just being you, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's a good space to be in. You get to be you, how you do you, and it's appreciated. And the passion and the energy that I have, it fits well in this space. So I got a lot out of it. I appreciate what Phoenix had to offer. That's why I was like, hey, y'all better recognize when I come in this building.
They did the second time, right?
That's right. They woke up. We waking people up. We've been waking people up forever.
Oh, because Spoon, before you got on, we had a discussion about, Aaliyah Boston not being invited to the Espys.
Yeah.
And Bridget brought a good point of view from that in saying that, they asked her to come, even though they initially asked her, she should have gone. So what do you feel about that?
I believe she was so hurt that she wasn't invited in the very beginning because of everything that kid has done throughout that entire season. Right. I think she was so hurt by those that were invited and she was not, that she just refused to even go. She's like, I'm not going, because she's thinking, nah, you only invited me because now the world is on your case.
Right.
You didn't invite me because I deserve to be invited. I think that's how she was thinking, and said, no, I'm not going to go.
Yeah. Right. And Pettis' point was, she needed to be in the room, because once she was in the room would be hers, which I get. And that's
a hell of a point right there. Now
I really didn't think of it. I'm thinking with my heart, and I'm thinking, the young lady was, her ego was bruised, everything. Like you said, she's young, she's impressionable. She was probably just so hurt that she didn't even think, still go, because something greater is going to happen. Because now
I think you said it best. What Pettis said was, now the room is going to be yours.
Exactly.
I mean,
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't think of that. I'm just saying, if we're trying to get in the room, the main thing is that I should be there. Exactly. I should be there. Then I need to be there. I don't know. Okay, maybe I have to wake you up to get in the room, but when I'm in the room, I can make change. I don't want my voice just to complain. I want you to hear the message, and we make change.
Absolutely.
That was dope. I was like, all right.
It was. Make you see things differently. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Because that's what we doing, T. That's what we doing. We want to get in the room.
Changing stuff.
let me in here with the guys. I belong in here. I got something to give you. It doesn't matter. I got something to give you. Now I'm in here. I don't want to sit here and say they didn't let me in the room. And for myself, I want to get in the room.
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah. She's gonna be heard though, but I just thought her perspective on it was really like I didn't even think of it that way. I'm thinking like, nah, y'all messed up with that initial invite. But she'll be in many more rooms, trust, especially after all of this that has gone on. So I'm gonna get to this question that we always have asked, which is who are your top 5 players on your Mount Rushmore of women's basketball? And Tay wants to know this. If you have to compare who's a better player to your WNBA's Diana Taurasi or Cynthia Cooper. So it's kind of a tough question, the top 5, and then who's the better player?
Yeah, we'd love to.
You got to think about it. Dang.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and go. I love you, Cynthia. You're wonderful. But being able to coach Diana, I'm going to go ahead and say, Diana, you gave something different to the game, and I witnessed it. I watched you every day. I passed the ball to her. I watched how she can make another player be great right there. Like, come on, you got to get on this level. I watched her bring unity to a team, and they both got 4 championships. So it's really tough to say they know how to win, but it was something really different about Diana. And I even experienced being coached by Cynthia. She had a competitiveness that I didn't always connect to, but I connected with what I saw in Diana a little bit different.
Okay. So who's your top 5 then? Your top 5 players?
Yeah, for sure, Cheryl Miller, number 1. Yeah, Cheryl. Then LaTanya Pollard. Maybe not everybody know, but I won't let her go. And
you was peeping in the window.
Y'all don't know she scored 99 points in Italy.
What?
That girl was bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah, LaTanya was it. Man, it's tough.
Well, you got 2.
Yeah, I got 2. Who's great? Diana. I put Diana at 3.
So many.
Oh,
yeah.
Think about it. You got 2. Come on.
Lisa. I'm going to give you some love, Lisa, because you did some great stuff. And Cynthia.
Okay. That is what it is. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Yeah, the old school is still rocking the house the most because it was just solid. It's solid. And
yeah.
The new school, they just posting this much, so you get to see them. But the work still has to be done.
So that brings us to Samuel Clark's question. His question is, how do you transfer that old school work ethic into the new school players? Because what would be the advice you would give to coaches today? Because it is a problem. They're so busy posting and bigging up themselves, and they actually have more power now that they have that little computer in their hand, so they could build a fan base. They could bring people to the games, but instead they're just looking cute. Click, click.
I think we gotta bring us back. You gotta bring us back. You got to bring us back. You got to bring the women back to the game, and we should be coaching and influencing and impacting. I train players right now. I know for sure what I have to give a pro player. They always coming over here because I can help their career be better today. So the experience that I had is like none other. These are the jewels. We hold the jewels. So bring this knowledge.
Oh, we lost her there. She'll come back. She said she didn't have television.
No, she don't deal with all that stuff.
Nah, nothing. Just all natural.
all natural. And I love talking to her, just love hearing how she views life.
Yeah,
She's special. She's extremely special. So special. Love her to
absolutely.
pieces. And what she's saying now, all the stuff she's talking now, man, this is huge for everybody to hear. Just
Every-
big.
Absolutely. When I saw her out in Vegas last year, I was just shocked because I hadn't seen her in so long. And she was just telling me all about everything that was going on in Phoenix and how she was helping her community. And she
Yeah.
was just so lit with it. And
Yeah.
so it's like it's her gift, you know,
Yeah.
it's her purpose now.
That's it.
And that's all she wants to do is help people, the meditation,
Yeah.
the affirmations from the time you wake up in the morning to the time, you know, you go to bed at night, really understanding what's important, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this question here by Mike Hoops. We'll get hopefully we'll be able to get Bridget back. But he's saying, you know, it really irks him that players like Teresa, Katrina, Janice, Lynette, they aren't really being honored, or you know, they're somewhat being forgotten. Here she is. We got you back, girl.
All right.
We got you back.
What she said.
Yeah,
What she said.
You know,
I miss it.
no, we waiting for you. We waiting for you to finish on your statement as of how to get that spark back in these younger players.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, and I know you were saying they need to bring the older players back. So Mike Hoop's page was saying that, you know, it irks him that they've forgotten the players, so many of the players, and that they really do need to honor them and bring them back and make them a major part of the redevelopment of the league. You know, the grand opening of the league.
Yeah, I mean, what you think? So I want to know what you.
No, what you
pick you as a coach in this league. I can't even understand that.
Yeah, I've said from day one what you just said. They need to bring us back into the fold. Like you said, we see things a little bit differently. We do things just a little bit differently, and we just want to give that. We want to give the way we seek success. The way we seek success and how it has to be done, the process of being successful. We want to bring that back. We want to bring all of that back. We didn't have social media like they do. I don't knock them at all because they have it, but we didn't have all of that like they do. All we did was just freaking worked. And we stepped in between the four lines. That's how we gained our fans, is they had to see the talent. They had to see the gift. We couldn't get on social media and have 1 million followers and all that stuff and then bring them into the arena. We didn't have that. So they had to come into the arena and see the gifts, see the talent. That's how we brought them back every single night of what we put between the four lines and the energy and the passion that we did it with. That's how we brought them back every night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trisha here says that it would be a good thing to assign mentors to each team. Why not? What do y'all think about that?
Absolutely. The Aces just had an alumni. You know, every year they're bringing their alumni.
Yeah.
Their alumni is from other teams. Like, that's so much love to even let it not be forgotten that you played in Utah. Like, that's some love right there.
Yeah, Utah, that's true.
There ain't even a team anymore. You thought about me, and I used to play all the way. So, I mean, we just got to wake up. You can't, how you going to build and ain't nothing at the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, man, powerful statement. Definitely a powerful statement.
Yeah. So we got to...
Go ahead, sweetie.
That's big. That's just big what she said. How do you do it? I just think Mr. Davis, he sees the bigger picture. He understands it, and he brings everybody back into the fold. He makes everybody feel special for what they brought to a team. He makes them feel special. And when they come back and they're in Vegas and they're enjoying the moment, it's enjoyable because he makes them feel special for what they brought every single night. Whether you play 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it was, he makes you feel special for being a part of the organization. And it's got to be a great feeling. The way they were having fun that I was watching, that's got to be an amazing feeling.
And the sisterhood that we have, period. I mean, probably what's going to come out of that.
Oh, we lost her again.
Yep, it keeps going in and out.
Yeah, because I think it's just where the area where she is.
Yeah.
you know. But Erica, hey Erica, how you doing, girl? States that there should be legends at the training camps, but I think don't they bring back players to speak to the new rookies and everything like that when they come
Rita,
in?
I can't even answer that one. I'm not sure. I know that was something that had been brought up about, the veterans coming and maybe having that sit down with them during that orientation period that they have, and
Right,
be able
right.
to talk about the history of the league and where it's going and what we think. I thought that was something that was going to be put in place, but I haven't heard.
Yeah, I don't think they've implemented that at all. Ooh, I lost you too. Everybody's just kind of falling out the sky here. So I have some great questions, and I think that a lot of answers can actually be found through our fan base because you are the ones, all of you are the ones who really look from a different perspective. We as coach, former agents, coaches, players, we have a different perspective on things overall because we're in it in a different way. So a lot of the comments that you have, we will absolutely put in people's, plant little seeds in people's head regarding that. So, keep them coming. I know there was a question I'm looking for. Trying to think who it was. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't play for Cheryl Miller, unfortunately. Um, Let me see. There was one question that was really interesting. Anyway, I didn't see too many responses regarding Liz Cambridge. Is that because most of you just are tired of hearing about her, or you just feel she's a lost cause? I just thought, I mean, when I heard the news, it was just so, I just couldn't believe it. After wanting to be on a particular team, and then, getting that opportunity and kind of messing it up. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. Right now, I'm trying to get Bridget back. I think I have her, but I think she's sideways. Let me
Yeah,
see. I gotta rotate. I gotta rotate.
do I got to do something?
I've never had to do that before, but whatever I got to do to get you
You
back.
rotating me or what? Okay,
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah. There was a question here from Netta. Netta Johnson wanted to know, how was it coaching Candace? She wasn't on the team at that time, no?
Yeah, no, I
Was
coached
she?
Candace still. I coached her when she was in LA.
Oh,
So,
okay.
because I coached
Well,
a year with Sparks and
uh,
phenomenal. I love that. The wonderful thing about Candace that she loved being in that gym. She put time into her skills. She ain't just a player, just happened to be one. I witnessed the work that she put in. I
right.
saw her grow into her leadership. So yeah, she's been pretty exceptional to see. Just her skill set was so phenomenal to see someone that tall, and she was my kind of player because she talked a lot of mess. And
Yeah, no. She's big. She went back home and she put a show on. She's like, look, y'all forgot me in LA, or y'all wanted to get rid of me. Now I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna show you what y'all
yeah,
missing.
yeah,
Sometimes you don't miss someone until they're gone, and then, but then I can't even say that because really it's all about chemistry.
yeah.
You
That's
you you look at LA Sparks. They're a great team on paper. There's no way they should not be in the top four in terms of overall standings.
yeah,
But the chemistry just isn't there. I don't know if it's like the big thumb sticking out of the four, or rather out of the five. But how do you really make all that work when you have not a cancer in a team, but you just,
yeah.
how do you get it in line or make them see that they have to let go of their own ego for the betterment of the whole?
I mean, that's what we were saying about, with Liz being there. Just finding that team. You gotta, with these egos and these, all these
Yeah.
players with exceptional talent that wants to get displayed. That's pretty much what it boils down to. They want to play. But you got to get those players to buy in to want to play for the team first. And that was my journey as an assistant coach. We playing for us? And I want you to get all the accomplishments that you would like to try to achieve on your individual level, that you want, that you aspire to. But we're playing for us first, and that has to continue to be taught. And that's what wins championships. Those players that buy into that.
Right. And there was a thing even with Candace kind of being a difficult player that was definitely heard all across the league. It's like, she puts on for the city when she's in lights, cameras, action, but behind the scenes, she is really like not the one. Look, it's unscripted. We can keep it real. We know what we know, so we can tell what we know. So we can say, for the majority of us being involved in women's basketball, she has always been known somewhat as a problem child. But, I think when you have a lot of success and you have greatness and you're doing things and your individual talent, you have certain problems that can sometimes rear their ugly head. Yeah. But, I think a lot of great players have kind of gotten that tab. Look at even Taurasi now with the things that she did the other week with Sylvia Fowles. The league fined her for that situation. But, every now and then when you're a genius or whatever, you go sideways a little bit. Yeah. So,
when I played with Cheryl. Cheryl said, "You know what you missing, Bridget?" And I said, "What?" She said, "You're just not enough of an asshole." And I say that. And she was like, she said, "That's what the great players have. You just gotta have that and that nastiness about you. And not everybody like that. And that's what I did see. I saw that nastiness in those star players. And I don't know if I wanted to be that.
Yeah, you got that little edge on you type thing.
Yeah, that little edge, but I definitely saw that it was something different about them, that they did have this way that could trigger other players to get more out of them. That wasn't always the kindest words. I mean, we listened to Michael Jordan. Not everybody liked Michael Jordan.
Right.
That he was. But they still bought something out of you that needed to come out of you, that not every player has to do that, have that ability to do.
Right. Well, Ron Charles, you talked about your situation with Candace, but he also wanted to know, didn't you play with, let me see if I have him here. He said, didn't you play with Nancy Lieberman also when you were in Phoenix? Well, what was that experience like for you?
It's pretty unique. I mean, it was more like respect that she's here and acknowledging that, all that she had done. She was a legend to us, the players that were currently playing, even at that time, because all she had done in the women's game. But also had Clarissa Davis, remember her? She was playing at that time. We had still some of the older players that were making their footprint in the WNBA. So it was a lot of respect. I don't know. I mean, Nancy still had game for sure. I bet you to this day
she's still playing.
Yeah, she got some game. I think
she's somewhere playing. I talked to her the other week. She was somewhere playing.
Yeah, she just got game.
Or putting the court down,
Yeah.
But going back to your new journey, your holistic journey, people want to actually know who inspired your holistic journey, in terms of you being enlightened as to a new way of life and health.
Absolutely. They said Dr. Savy, absolutely, number one.
Okay.
He was someone that educated our community with a clear understanding of how to take care of ourselves. And unfortunately, he's not here with us today, but I think his message was well heard. Elijah Muhammad, they said, absolutely, just getting the community back healthy. These were books and people that I looked into as well. Just Us, my people inspire me. My people to do better, to continue to grow, to make the statement that a lot of the WNBA players are wearing on their shirt to be true. Black lives do matter.
Right.
Mine, and that matters by how I take care of myself and how I
Right.
take care of my
Do
brother.
Do you have a website people can go to that? Why don't you give it out for them so they can check out what you're doing and join, or possibly even create their own community?
Yeah,
Um, I
absolutely. You can
think that
go
would
to
be great.
projectrootsaz.org and just see the different type of community projects that we're doing. You can also contribute. We've taken donations to continue to grow our projects. We're trying to build a solar pergola in our farm where we feeding the water through the solar and letting it come out of our water tanks. And so we're just doing a lot of different things out there to make growing food a little bit easier. And they say, yeah, Burger King and all that is killing it. So that's my message. This is true. So changing our diet and taking accountability to our life. And it's
Absolutely.
not
My
about what.
my my brother used to say, like, you put a tattoo on your body, it's like your body is sacred. So would you put a bumper sticker on a Mercedes or a Beamer? Um, the same thing he thought about tattoos, but I guess Samuel Clark is saying the same thing goes when it comes to food and what we put in our body as far as premium, or we just put junk in it.
Yeah.
So our body is our temple. What are we feeding it as of these days,
Yeah. And so just
Really.
education, just bringing it to truth. Like most people don't know that we should be eating food that's seasonal, the things that's growing right now in this season. Like right now we have watermelon, squash, zucchini, tomatoes, those type of things are coming out of the earth right now. Our body will be more sustainable and feel healthier with eating that temperament food to what's happening right now and eating it organically. So changing the
Yeah.
taste buds, getting rid of the processed foods, and getting sun.
Right.
I started teaching yoga about 17 years ago, being more mindful with my movement and breath, and just getting myself grounded. These are things that benefit us, and I just want to bring them to the community.
Oh, absolutely. We'll give everyone your website again so they can definitely check out, what you're offering, and just get a better understanding of what you're trying to accomplish with your project Roots, and how they can actually be involved in it.
Yeah, so our website is projectrootsaz.org. We are a nonprofit. We've been 3 years running right now, and we grow food and we educate on growing food. We distribute food in different ways through our CSA boxes, our farmers markets, and also in our soup kitchen. And we're always looking for the community to come out to be a part of the building of the farm, the building of the garden, and just getting our hands back in the soil and teaching. We also have a wellness collective, a wellness collective where we're teaching free yoga classes every Tuesday and Thursday out here in Phoenix. I taught this
Fly
morning.
on out, everybody flying out to Phoenix to get some free
Yeah,
instruction.
so I was out there this morning and we had a class and it was beautiful. I mean, just getting out, getting our bodies moving and being outside.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, we thank you for joining us this evening, and genuinely appreciate your time, because like I know you don't deal with television and all that. You're really into spirituality, life force, sun, universe, grow, all those wonderful things. So I truly appreciate you coming on tonight. And to those whose questions we didn't get to, I do apologize. Like I said, I'm not even supposed to be on here. I'm just supposed to be behind the scenes.
You're supposed to be here today. I appreciate it. And I know you.
Definitely.
I don't hear her, but I know you as well. And I
Definitely.
appreciate
But we appreciate all of you who follow us, who come on, who ask questions, who are genuinely involved in what we're doing. And we just truly appreciate you as our followers and fan base. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Bridget, thank you once again. Any final words? Any final words?
Just thank you, Rita. I appreciate you continuing the love and support for the women's game and allowing me to have a platform to speak about the food and about, the mission that I feel true to. And
great.
Thank you.
Anytime, girl. Anytime for you. Anytime. Again, namaste. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Much love. And to all of you, we hope to see you next week. If you have any comments, you can always hit us up on our certified@gmail contact. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great one. Bless.
Grow your own food.
Grow your own food, girl. Take care, Bridget.
You too. Be well.